welcome to another midweek update video. These videos are for teammates, patrons and sponsors. Your support as always is hugely appreciated. Thank you very much. Right, when am I recording this? Oh, 8:30 on a Monday evening. Yep, missed my target, which means I've only got tonight and tomorrow to edit it. But I'm going to try and make it fairly simple because all we're going to talk about tonight is the MGB GT. Yeah, obviously not mine, but Glenn Snodden's MGB GT. If you haven't seen it, I did an interview with him and his car that went out on Sunday. I'll leave a link here and at the end. And during that interview, we thought it would be a really good idea to do the first round of the Hero ERA navigation challenge type things that they do. And this was based down in Taunton in Somerset. So yeah, I was navigating, Glenn was driving in his MGB GT. We had a whale of a time, we really did. It was definitely not without drama. Where do I even start? Glenn went to pick me up to catch the red funnel ferry, and while we were queuing up to go on the ferry, the car basically overheated and steam came out the bonnet. We almost didn't make it off the Isle of Wight, I know. What basically had happened is it has a thermo switch on the top of the radiator to turn on the electric fan when it gets to a certain temperature. But you know, this is an old car, you know, the electrics are as old as the car is. So, you know, these sort of things fail. And so, yeah, obviously because we were gassing and talking cars and rallying and all that sort of stuff, we didn't really keep an eye on the temperature gauge, and that's when it boiled over. Luckily, the ferry was running a bit late, so we managed to let it all cool down, and I bodged the electric so that the fan was on all the time. That then got us onto the mainland. So as we were driving down towards Taunton, we had to go through Salisbury, and we decided, wouldn't it be a good idea to stop at a Halfords so that we can actually sort something out with that fan switch, because we didn't want the fan to burn out. Again, it's an old-fashioned electric fan and they don't like running all the time. So we went into a Halfords. The staff in there were less than enthusiastic, let's just say. But anyway, we managed to get some wire and a switch that we could run the switch all the way in through to the dashboard, so then Glenn could just turn the fan on and off whenever he wanted, so that was great. Oh, and the other thing is, as we got off the ferry, the car started to run like a bag of bolts. It just did not want to run. We thought, oh well, you know, let's pull the plugs out and have a look, and the plugs were black. She's obviously running very, very rich with a brand new Weber carbon. And after we sort of packed the car up, we thought we really do need to go. We're going to be late for scrutineering and sign-oning, so we need to get a bit of a lick on. So we jumped back in the car and drove towards Taunton. Because we were gassing and not me paying attention to the map, we missed the junction, and immediately after the junction we got into a massive traffic jam. So we were stuck in this traffic jam for, I don't know, half an hour at least, and it was on a dual carriageway, so you couldn't just turn around and go back the other way to go where we wanted to go. We had to wait for the traffic to clear, go to the end, you know, make a bit of a U-turn and then head back. Anyway, that meant that we only just made it to scrutineering. I think we had like 7 minutes to go. It was bonkers. We passed sound check, which was really good, but we failed scrutineering on multiple things. One part of the story I haven't told you is the original plan was Glenn was going to put the MGB GT on a trailer and tow it with his Land Rover down to the event. But literally the day before, the Land Rover broke down. So we made the decision, we'll just drive the car, it'd be fine. And it was great fun doing it. It was like proper old school drive to an event, do it and then come back. But of course at scrutineering, they said, oh right, can we see your high-vis jackets? Can we see your first aid kit, please? Your triangle. And Glenn was like, yeah, it's all in the back of the Land Rover. And bizarrely enough, one of the headlights wasn't working. So yeah, we failed scrutineering, but they said, don't worry, you know, drive to the hotel where, you know, the event is based. We've got loads of mechanics there, we'll try and sort it out for you. And they did, they were just brilliant. The guys just dived in there and they were diagnosing it. And yeah, the electrics on the front of the car is quite old and brittle, so that needs sorting out in the future. But they said, you know, we'll get it fixed, and of course that means that you will pass scrutineering. but you need to go and sign on because sign-on's about to close. And as we dived into the hotel reception to sign on, they were basically getting ready to give up because it was like 1 minute spare. So, boom, we got our cards and our road book and everything else, and then we could relax because we'd made it. I know on YouTube they say that they want drama to, you know, make it more exciting, but this was not fake drama. This was us having a proper mare of a day. But anyway, so the format for these sort of events is there all sorts of different types of navigation. There are tulip maps. There are tulip maps, you know, so you have to follow these diagrams to find out where you're going. There are descriptive ones which basically just tell you, you know, turn left, turn right. And there are ordnance survey maps that you have to follow, all sorts of things. And then scattered in between those are special tests, which are a bit like auto tests, but massive. There was one that we turned up at an airfield, and on the map you can see it goes, oh, you go around A, then B, then you come back to A, and then you're off again. Of course, we're looking at the map going, oh, okay, that's fine, you know, and then it goes around here, no problem at all. But when we were sat at the start line, the car in front basically drove off right into the distance, and we're going, where's he going? And right in the distance, then he would turn around and come back, and we go, oh, that's cone B, which meant, you know, flipping heck, how big is this, you know, auto test, special testing? It was just monstrous. It was great fun. We also got to go up one of the classic hill climbs down in Somerset. What was it called? I can't remember. I'll leave a link here. But yeah, that was just brilliant. It's you know, an iconic hill climb that people apparently can't get into because it's fully booked all the time. But we got to do it part of this event. Navigating. Right, so me navigating, I thought, I've got this sussed, I know how to do it. A tulip map, I know how to read that. I can read an OS map, I've done that since like the beginning of time. It'll not be a problem. I made myself a little board that I could have, you know, on my lap. And yeah, this is me, by the way. I messed up so many times in the navigation for multiple reasons.
For reasons unknown.
Not for reasons unknown.
Flipping heck are they tricky little bastards when they're planning this thing. You know, what we should have done, or what I should have done, is basically the night before I should have gone down through all the navigation, all of it, and looked for things that I thought, ooh, they're trying to trick me here. One of them was on the Tulip Rally. Basically, there was a thing where you go a T-junction and you go turn right. So of course we're cruising along and we're trying to stay at this average speed. I'll go, oh yeah, you know, any second now, there's a junction, turn right. Brilliant. So we get onto that junction, turn right. And as we go along the road afterwards, I'm going, right, the next one is, oh, piss. It was turn left, but the distance between the tulips was something like 0.02 of a mile, which basically meant it was just one of those green triangles in the road. And the idea is you went the wrong, you know, the awkward way around the triangle and carried on the road that you were on in the first place. But because I wasn't reading the thing ahead, you know, I didn't twig. Whereas I would have highlighted that and gone, yeah, so there's all sorts of things they were trying to trick you out. So genuinely there was some where I actually miscalculated the distances and things like that. And we ended up going down the wrong road, then having to turn back. The other one was an ordnance, was following an ordnance survey map. And I went, as I said, you know, I can read it, no problem. Oh, I love maps. Ever since I was a child, I loved maps. And so I've got this, but it was a 1 to 50,000th map. I had to have it here. I was literally trying to like look at it this close, trying to follow myself along. And that's okay when you're sort of sat, you know, at home or wherever, but when you're in a car going like this down these bumpy roads, it's so hard. There's a few things they try to trick you on, but all of it, you know, our timings were well out, and I think we basically finished the event, not quite last, but you know, we were right at the bottom. I think we were something like 5th or 6th from last out of 100 cars, which, yeah, okay, that's all down to me, isn't it, basically? However, those special test things that we had to do, these auto tests, these monster things, we struggled to start with trying to make a system that basically would work for Glenn. It's really difficult. If you say go left of the cone then left, or left of the cone then right, that can really mess with your brain. However, we then realised that if I said cone on your door or cone on my door and then left and right, absolutely worked for both of us. And the first time we tried that system, we were flying. Yeah, absolutely. It was hilarious. It was actually on a gravel airfield, those ones were on. And the back end was out on the old MG. And
this clip is especially for you, Errol. Run VT. 5. And go.
So yeah, M on your door, then N on my door. Go between these two cones here.
Yeah.
Q over there on your door, R on my door, S on your door, T on my door, U on my door, V on your door. Get ready to stop in the stop box.
Yeah.
There you go. So A on your door. Yeah, we're rallying. So same as before, B on my door, then C on your door. So B on my door, C on your door, D on my door, E on my door, F on your door. Straight up, go, 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 go. Between the G's, there's a pair of G's somewhere. That's it, between these two cones. Come on, wow. That's it.
That's it, is it?
No, keep going, go, 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 go. I mean, there's an H around, somewhere up here, there's a H, and it's on your door, and it's tucked in there. Look, someone's hit it. 100% that's H. Oh no, maybe it's not.
Yes,
Yeah, it is. Go on that side, that side. That's it. And then to finish, stop on the stop box. Dukes of Hazzard, mate, that is. Stop, 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 stop. Yeah. In a nutshell, we were right at the bottom of the scorecards with the timings and navigation, because that was my fault. But Glenn's driving in the MG, once we got this new system in, the last 3 that we did, we were 3rd fastest car during those events. So, you know, out of 100 of all these experienced drivers. So well done to Glenn, and we've got a new system. The car was amazing. Driving back to the Isle of Wight, it was fine. I think the event itself must have just cleared out the carb or done whatever. And driving back was okay. It still needs looking at, but you know, it was fine. Yeah, despite the result, it was a giggle from start to finish, with lots of drama, lots of adventure, and I really do like these type of events. So, yeah, I don't want this to be the future of our motorsport, but you know, to do 1 or 2 of these a year is just an absolute giggle. However, you know, they say a bad workman always blames their tools. In this case, a little tiny bit of it was down to the rally trip computer that I was using. What they do is that the actual computers that you want to buy, you know, that tell you distance and speed and all that sort of thing, they're actually quite expensive. So, you know, new people like us, they say before you invest in those, you can download an app on your phone. And rather than have sensors connected to your wheels or your gearbox or the speedo cable, this thing will just use GPS. And that's what we did. I've got my phone, we stick it on the dashboard. It's amazing. However, GPS is not as accurate as the mechanical systems that everybody else is running, and it can really apparent during this event because, you know, there's a little bit of lag with GPS, and if you're driving underneath wet trees, which we were for an awful lot of the event, the lag really does play with, you know, the distance that the computer's telling you. So, you know, multiple times I'll be driving down the road and I'll go, oh, in about, you know, 4/10 of a mile, there'll be a junction. Oh, there it goes. Because we were well ahead and the computer thought we were behind. So of course, then we've got to turn around, go back, and once you've done that, your computer distances has all gone wrong and your timing's well up the spout. And yeah, you can see why people don't use GPS trip computers in their rally cars. They use the mechanical ones. When we have a go at future events, I really would like to invest in one. I've got the Brantz rally clock, and looking at pretty much every other car, they use the Brantz computer as well, which tells you, you know, your total distance, your trip distance. Unfortunately, those computers, by the time you've got the actual computer itself, there's another little screen that goes above the driver so they can tell you what speed you're going, and the sensor that goes onto your wheel or onto the cable. God blimey, it adds up just over £500. So I'm gonna start up a GoFundMe page to see if any of you lovely people out there would be willing to help sponsor the navigation computer so that we can do these sort of navigation rallies. And this is exactly what I need to learn and become good at if we're going to do the Monte Carlo Historic Rally in the future. You know, basically it's going from the UK to the south of France using this sort of, you know, technique, and then once you're there you do basically closed road stage rallies up in the mountains in the snow. So yeah, so this is a skill and a technique that I need to learn before I even contemplate doing those events. So just like the rally seat, just like the intercom, just like the fire extinguishers, all of those things were basically funded through crowdfunding from lovely people like you. No pressure, but if you'd like to help sponsor this bit of kit so that we can do these sorts of rallies in the future, then I'll leave a link somewhere to the GoFundMe page. But yeah, please don't feel pressurized to do so, but if you would like to help us, that would just be amazing. Is there anything else I need to talk about the rally? No, just that I can't wait to do another one. Alfie update! Do you like Monty the Mark 1 then, mate? Yeah, it's alright. Been in and out of that car all afternoon. Well, it's nice. Here's me horse. Yeah, lovely. Cheers, mate. You go back in. Very nice, eh, mate? You look right at home there. Right, thank you very much. I really do appreciate your support, and I will see you next week. Ta-ta for now. Here's me horse. Cheers, mate.